Good morning, students, and welcome to the class of English. I, your English teacher, Pankaj Thapa, today is going to explain you the chapter, The Ailing Planet, The Green Movement's Role by Nani Palkhiwala. Children, you can find the details about the author in my previous video where I have explained in detail the chapter. And as this is a revision video, so I'm going to just brush up the details about the chapter. So let's begin. So here are some word meanings which have been used in the chapter. That is, first of all, inter alia. It means among other things. Language means forced to stay somewhere. Ignominious means disgraceful, and decimated means destroyed. Children, this green movement means it's a effort by the human beings to protect the earth, and in the sense that the greenery which is getting decimated, it has to be protected. The green cover has to be protected, because otherwise, what will be the future of this earth? That is totally a scorched planet. That's why let's just see through this chapter that how these all things started. So the green movement started nearly 25 years ago. See, when this story was written, so since then it was only 25 years, but now you can add the years as such only. The green movement started nearly 25 years ago. The world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand in 1972. So this sometimes questions are asked like this in short answer type questions. When and where was Green Party formed? So just children, just remember these things. The world's first nationwide Green Party was founded in New Zealand in 1972. Since then, the movement has not looked back. In fact, no other movement in world history has excited human race so much as the green movement. So, green movement, children, has taken a lead as compared to other movements, because this movement is meant for the existence of human beings. If there will be no trees, then what is there about the existence of human beings? There would be a question mark on them. So for the first time, there is growing awareness that the earth itself is a living organism, and it has its own metabolic needs and essential processes. So earth has been considered as a human being. You can see there is use of personification. Earth, although it's a non-living thing, has been personified and given shape of a human being organism. And as human beings has its metabolic needs. Metabolic needs means the body needs food as energy, and then with the help of energy the human beings perform various tasks. So in the same way, the earth also has its metabolic needs and essential processes. So as human beings require food and energy, in the same way the earth also requires food and energy. Now, what is the food and energy for the plants? This is the question. And children, you will have to answer this. That what is the food for plant? Now, the science pertaining to the earth's lives show a patient in declining health. So whatever the signals the earth is giving, it shows that it's a patient which is going to die anytime. Means the condition of the earth is totally finished. People have now fully realized their moral duty to be good custodians of the planet and responsible trustees of the legacy of the future generations. See, one proverb is there, that is, we have not inherited this earth from our ancestors, but we have borrowed it from our future generations. So it is a true saying in today's scenario, because if we will just use this earth as if we have a right on this earth, then definitely all the resources are going to finish, and our progenies and future generations will be left with nothing. They will study about trees in their books and other things only. So we must be wise if we want to pass some good things to our future generation. Now, the World Commission on Environment and Development popularized the concept of sustainable development in 1987. Children, the sustainable development word you can search in geography also, science also, in biology, and you can find out what is the meaning of sustainable development. This concept was popularized in 1987 by World Commission on Environment and Development. Now, it defined the idea as the development that meets the needs of the present without endangering the ability of future generations to meet their needs. Sustainable development, exactly, if we just coin out this term, it means coexistence. So coexistence means survival of all. Otherwise, the concept in the brain of human beings was that my needs should be satisfied. Doesn't matter if any other person or thing is getting destroyed, just to satisfy the needs of human beings. So that thing has to be taken care of in the term sustainable development. And this term was coined in the year 1987 by World Commission on Environment and Development. Man is the most dangerous animal in the world, and now he has realized the wisdom of shifting from a system based on domination to one based on partnership. So earlier the system, it was there, that is domination, that all resources belong to me. Now it's not like that, because the human beings have realized that no, we can't dominate the nature, because if we'll try to dominate the nature, nature will show back its power in the form of landslides and earthquakes and other such type of destructions. So it should be like that of a partnership. Scientists have arranged lists of 1.4 million living species on earth beside men. So these species also have right on the earth to utilize the resources of the earth and to live in coexistence. About 3 to 100 million other living species still stay unnamed in humiliating darkness. Means they have not been categorized, they have not been given biological names. So these 100 millions other living species are still unnamed. The Brand Commission was the first international commission to deal with the question of ecology and environment. The children, you will have to remember the name of this commission. It was the first international commission. All right. So if you check, that is Brand Commission. It was the first international commission to deal with the question of ecology and environment. And now the first Brand report raised the question whether we were to leave our successor a dried earth of increasing deserts, poor landscapes, and ailing environment. So this report, when analyzed all the facts and figures, so one and many more questions came into existence, and it was like analysis that whether we would like to leave for our successors a dried earth of increasing deserts, poor landscape, and ailing environment, or the same thing which we are enjoying, they must also enjoy. Now, Mr. Lester R. Brown has listed Earth's, you can just remember the name, Lester R. Brown, has listed Earth's four main biological systems. All right. So these biological systems, let me tell you, they are fisheries, then forests, then grasslands, then croplands. Right? So these four systems are there, that is fisheries, forests, grasslands, and croplands. So these are the four main biological systems. They form the basis of world's economic system. They supply us food and raw materials for industry. In large areas of the world, these systems are reaching unsustainable level. Means there is no coexistence. Human being is utilizing these resources without considering what will happen with the extensive use of these resources. Now, these resources supply, food and raw material for the industry, and in large areas of the world, these systems are reaching unsustainable level. Their productivity is being damaged. When this happens, fisheries break down, forests disappear, grasslands are changed to barren wastelands, and croplands become worse. Overfishing is common in protein-hungry world. In poor countries, local forests are destroyed to obtain fuel for cooking. Nowadays, children, we have shifted to other systems for cooking food. All right, but in many countries, still the wood is used as a fuel wood for cooking the food. And then in return, what happens? The forests are being destroyed. Tropical forests are wearing away at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year. This is the rate of destruction of the tropical forests. The growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer. Now, the cow dung, it is used for burning, and sometimes as cooking wood also. Otherwise, if this cow dung is used as fertilizer, so it's an important natural fertilizer. All right, but due to its use in other activities, the soil is devoid of this fertilizer. Over the last 4 decades, India's forests have reached disastrous exhaustion. India is losing its forests at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. Large areas, officially named forest lands, are almost treeless. A UN study warns that the environment has deteriorated quite badly in many of the 88 countries investigated. The growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. The children, all these things, that is overfishing, over destruction, overutilization, what's the main cause? That is the growth of world population. See, it is the main cause of everything, because the world population is increasing, what to say, geometrically or arithmetically, whatever way, but it is increasing at a fast pace, and it's the strongest factor which is distorting the future of human beings. Mankind reached the first billion mark in more than a million years. So human race, it reached 1 billion in 1 million years. Kindly try to calculate, children. That was the world population in the year 1800. By the year 1900, a second billion was added, and the 20th century had added another 3.7 billion. You can well calculate how quickly the human population is getting doubled. Now, the present world population is estimated at about 5.7 billion, and every 4 days, the world population increases by 1 million. Fertility falls as income rises, education spreads, and health improves. So, what happens when fertility falls? Income rises, means when the population comes to standstill, the income rises, education spreads, and health improves. Now, development is the best contraceptive. Means if human development is there, then definitely the world population will come to a controllable level. However, development may not be possible if population goes on increasing at this rate. The population of India is estimated to be 920 million in 1994, but now you can well uh, just calculate that India's population has crossed 1 billion mark many years back. All right, it is giving the data of 1994. All right, so now we have crossed 1 billion mark, and now it is already 2021. So we are far ahead of this data. It is more than the entire population of Africa and South America put together. See, it's a calculation in the year 1994. We were still ahead of the population of means combined population of Africa and South America put together. Unless population control is given topmost priority, the hope of the people would die in their hungry husbands. There is no alternative to voluntary family planning without an element of coercion. The choice is really between control of population and continuation of poverty. So we have to choose whether we want to continue our life in poverty or we want some kind of development, and that is only possible if the world population comes in controllable level. Children, I would like to share with you one fact that in China earlier only one child policy was there, and if any family used to have more than one child, they were under the total restriction of the government, and they had to pass through many problems. uh, they did not get many facilities and other things also. So that's a good step by the government, because China's population was topmost. Still it is topmost. India is at the second place. But if we compare China and India, then China has a vast area to support its population, but compared to it, India does not have that thing. So definitely there just comes a point that we have to think about it. We notice a surpassing concern. People are worried not only about their own survival, but that of the planet as well. People have begun to take an overall view of the very basis of life. The environmental problem is our passport for the future. A new world vision has emerged. It has ushered in the era of responsibility. It is a holistic view, an ecological view. We now see the world as an integrated whole rather than separate parts. Earlier, we were only worried that, yeah, this is India. We are only concerned about India. This is China. We are only concerned about China. This is Thailand. We are only concerned about Thailand. But now we have a holistic view. That is, whole world is a family, a global family, and it is integrated rather than separate parts. Industry has very important role to play in this new era of responsibility. Leading businessmen would excel in environmental performance. Then they can continue to exist as leading manufacturers. The words of Margaret Thatcher, I think she was the Prime Minister of Britain, what she used to say, that no generation has a free hold on this earth. All we have is a lifetime tenancy with a full repairing lease. Children, if we try to analyze this line, no generation has a freehold on this earth. Freehold on this line means we don't have total access on this earth. It means we are not the owners of this earth. Then what we are? We have a life tenancy. Tenancy, children, in Hindi means kirayadar. Alright, so we are the tenants and our lease are fully repairing. Means we can increase the tenancy period. Alright, but we should not consider ourselves as the owners of this earth. Mr. Lester Brown, the author of the Global Economic Prospect, rightly observes, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, we have borrowed from our children. So children, just notice these two quotations. In exams, questions are framed from these quotations. All right. So now let's move to question answers. Now locate the lines in the text that support the title, the Ailing planet. So the following lines in the text support the title, Ailing planet. Are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes, and ailing environment? A 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by the United Nations warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many 30 countries investigated. So these are the lines. What does the notice the world's most dangerous animal in the cage in the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia signify? So the notice the world's most dangerous animal at a cage in the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia signifies the man is solely responsible for all the deterioration in environment and depletion of natural resources. Because there a mirror is there inside the cage, and it means you are looking at yourself. It means who is the world's most dangerous animal? Human being itself. How are the Earth's principal biological systems being depleted? So due to the excessive use. Overfishing is quite common. Forests are being cut to obtain firewood for cooking. Grasslands are turning into barren wastelands, and croplands are deteriorating as their productivity has been impaired. Now, why does the author agree that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society? So, the growth of world population puts a severe strain on Earth's principal biological systems. Due to excessive human claims, these reach an unsustainable level. The same thing which I have explained just now. That is, if the population will increase, definitely it will put pressure on the resources, and then there will be the overutilization of resources. That is the point here. And if overutilization will be there, overpopulation will be there, then development is not possible. Next is laws are neither respected nor enforced in India. That's a true point. It is painful, but true that laws are neither respected nor enforced in India. Let us take examples from everyday life. Almost everyone is conversant with the rule of the road. Still, there are cases of wrong overtaking, lane jumping, signal jumping, over speeding on road edges. Is that there, children? Yes, I think you yourself have realized this thing. Our laws insist on compulsory elementary education up to the age of 14. Yet we find many illiterate teenagers, boys or girls of this age, loitering around in lanes or employed in petty jobs in roadside restaurants or as domestic servants. So here we are following the laws. Our constitution insists on the protection and improvement of the environment. The states have been given the responsibility of protecting forests and wildlife. And forests are being cut and illegal shooting of wildlife goes on. See, 3 examples have been given over here, which prove that laws are not respected in our country. Then other things are there: casteism, untouchability, bonded labor. But laws, they remain on paper only. In actual life, they are never put into practice. Hence, it can be concluded laws are neither respected nor enforced in India. Now, next question is: are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscape, and an ailing environment? So, it's a question put forward by the author. So, I fully agree with the view contained in the statement. There is every likelihood of such an eventuality occurring in future. There are solid reasons behind this apprehension. Our resources are limited. They will not last indefinitely if we go on consuming them indiscriminately. All right. So this is a valid point, that if we indiscriminately use the resources, definitely they are going to end. There is fossil fuels. Coal and petroleum are considered as fossil fuels. What happens? They are limited in this world. All right. The coal and petroleum exporting countries, generally it's an organization that is OPEC, oil and petroleum exporting countries. So OPEC countries are your Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, and countries of Middle East. They supply oil. But the oil wells or the resources of oil, it is limited, and one day it will end. And if we use unwisely these resources, what will happen? Definitely, we will have no source of energy. All right, and for future generations, nothing. Although government is researching to find out alternative ways, but still those things are under research. Now, fisheries, forests, grasslands, and croplands form the basis of the global economic system. They supply us food and raw materials for industry. Increasing population has put a severe pressure on them. Excessive use of these resources have impaired their productivity. In large areas of the world, these systems have reached an unsustainable level. The results are awful and disastrous. The fisheries will collapse, forests disappear, grasslands will become barren wastelands, and croplands will lose their fertility. Decimation of forests will increase dryness and heat, and there will be less rainfall. Hence, there is a possibility of the earth becoming an overheated place full of increasing deserts, poor landscapes, and ailing environment in future. So this is the future of our world if we don't take precautionary steps. So children, that's all in today's video. Hope you would get benefited with this video, and thank you for your presence and watching this video. I'll meet till next video.